In this video, I talk about fashion, I talk about hair care, and even what the perfect service looks like. I've known Rich for about 10 years now. Rich expresses his art through fashion and clothing. I've been able to witness his journey firsthand. Throughout his journey, we've had long talks in the chair. We've talked about things like self-acceptance, self-worth, and doing whatever it takes to accomplish any goal. We've had a million laughs and even some cries. I can go on, but I'd rather let you hear from the man himself. Everybody welcome, ThaRiches. So today we are doing something special. This is not just a haircut. We're doing an interview. If you could, give me a quick rundown of who you are.
My name is Richard. I am 32 years old. Moved out here from Central California, Delano, small city, close to Bakersfield, and I'm in fashion. So I have a clothing store in downtown LA called Planeta. I have a business partner, and I also have my own clothing line.
What does fashion mean to you?
Fashion for me is just, it's like a form of expression. And I like it a lot because it's like, you don't have to be flashy or spend like a lot of money to dress well. And I think whether people think like they're into fashion or not, like what they wear still like, you know, there's some attachment to it. There's still some form of expression with like, you know, the pants you wear, the shoes that you wear. And I think it's very telling as to like your interest too. Whether it's tones, whether it's like a certain style of shoe, whether it's like the type of flare of a pant, it just does give people like an insight as to like what you're into. I think everyone does some form of like expression with clothes, whether they're aware of it or not.
Your hair is an extension of your expressing yourself as well. So,
1000%.
So let's say price is not an option, location is not an option. What is the perfect hair service or perfect haircut service?
It's important for a barber to listen because I have showed you references before and been like, hey, like I like this haircut or look at this, and you're quick to know or to be like, hey, like actually won't work because of the type of hair that you have. It's not going to sit like this. Right. And I think honesty is so good because so many people would just be like, sure, whatever, like I'll give you this haircut, that's what you asked for. Right. And not give you that real advice, opposed to just being like, hey, your hair actually lays this way and your texture is this way, and just like how coarse it is or how thick it is or whatever it is, all these different factors that I don't think about that you're familiar with, your knowledge is important to ensure that I have the right haircut. Where in present time, I lean more towards what my hair naturally does because it makes the process of styling my hair so much more easier to do when I'm at home.
What's some hair care tips that you've learned over the years? Like what's your routine look like?
Don't buy like the 3-in-1.
So you don't do 3-in-1s?
No, that's how I grew up, and I had no idea like the importance of it. Like it was just very like, hey, like Head and Shoulders, get like. I learned it's important to like condition your hair. Also important to like not shampoo as often, and then also add like oils to help with like the dryness of it. And then also not even knowing, you know, if say like you have a dry scalp or something of that sort, I was quick to be like, oh, I have dandruff, until, you know, I got educated that it's just like, actually it's not dandruff, it comes from like, you know, dryness.
Natural ingredients matter to you, or like that's important to you?
I think so, yeah. Now it is, because it's just more so of like, it's less harsh in just like my hair and how it feels. Gotcha. And my hair is just like very like, I feel like it's soft now. Before it was just very like, I don't know, I feel like there would be friction whenever like I would like rub my hair around, my hand around my hair. And now it's just like a lot like smoother and it just feels like softer.
Do you feel like it's the hairstylist or the barber's
job to tell us?
Yes.
Yes and no. Like you have, obviously you go to school for it, but at the same time, it's our job to ask because you're the one that has the knowledge. So if someone, like how do you even bring up that conversation? Like say it's a new client, and their scalp is so dry, and it's like you're cutting their hair and it's flaky, and it's like, you know, like it's drizzling, like all on the cape. How do you even have that conversation to bring up, hey, you might want to take care of that? Like, hey, you actually, unless out of like curiosity, but also not knowing someone's personality, it could be overstepping. Like, what is it to you? I don't know. But for me, I think it's important that I think the conversation starts with the client to allow whoever is cutting their hair to then share their knowledge. Prior to you, I would go to barber one week, and I would go to stylist the following week. So I would like teeter-totter to be happy with what my hair did, to a point where when I met you, it was like a blessing because it was like a one-stop shop. Because you're familiar with textures and how to like tweak my hair to have it do what I wanted it to do. There's also a headache too to find someone that you feel like you can trust and can execute like your vision as to what you want.
Yeah. So that's also part of my next journey, or my next goal, is to try to help people find the correct barber for them. It's not an easy process. It's I hear it all the time, whether it's from clients or whether it's from just people who ask me like, oh, where can I find a barber? Or it's my clients traveling, or somebody moves and they're like, where can I find a barber? I would love to just be like, go to this shop, but it's not like that anymore.
No, it doesn't work that way. Like, even, say for instance, you're out of town, or for whatever reason you can't cut my hair. I have to decide if, hey, am I gonna stick it out, not cut my hair, not mess up the process, or do I just get a fade and just hope that like it all works out for me? And for the most part, like, it's the times where I'm just like, they botched me, to a point where I even told you that one story where he went too deep and he said I was balding. And this was this year, this was a couple months ago, where it was just, you know, like I was like, I'm not balding, dude, like, but it comes to a point where even nowadays, to find a barber that you trust, or even like a backup barber, it's not easy. It was honestly like the best part of the haircut.
I know that you're not gonna scrub your head the way that I'm gonna scrub your head. Like the way.
And I wish I could, man. I did it this morning, and I was just like, I do not get in there like David gets in there.
Service ends with a nice head massage with some nice oil to seal in all the moisture that we just added into your scalp. So while I do this, so I have a question for you. So you stated earlier when we first started this interview that you came down here from a small town, and you made your way to the big city. What is some advice that you can give to someone thinking of making that leap? You know, but either they're too scared, or they're like, you know, their friends are talking to them like, nah, you shouldn't do that. Like, give me 2 tips of like.
Oh my gosh, D, I was not ready for this.
That's okay.
Now I'm getting emotional. 1, don't lose the drive. Do not lose that light. Do not lose that ambition. Because if I can piece anything for how I was 10 years ago to now, is that I was just very determined and stubborn in a way that I will figure it out. And that has gotten me to be successful 10 years later. And 2, so 1 is to not lose the drive and to just find the determination to like really fuel whatever it is that you want to accomplish, and have that be like your reasoning to go about your day. And then the second one would be to don't let the setbacks and the lack of don't let the setbacks or the lack of exposure or rewards or compliments distract you from the end goal. Because what happens is when you receive your blessings, you receive them, I'm not gonna say all at once, but you receive them like tenfold. So the only way that happens is if like you continue to do the work and you don't know when that moment's gonna happen. So it's continue that drive and then don't lose sight of the vision, and don't be discouraged when things don't work out how you thought they would, because in the end, it turns out to be a lot more rewarding than what you could have imagined.
Nice. Rich, this was awesome. Thanks for coming on. Where can people find you, and what can we expect from Planeta and yourself and ThaRiches, and what can we expect from you in the future?
Well, you can find me on Instagram. So have two. So personal is ThaRiches, ThaRiches. So that's my personal one, and then you can find me at planeta.Los Angeles. So it's like planet with the A, Los Angeles. So both are on Instagram. And then for the near future is just definitely just grow the business and come out with a new collection for ThaRiches. So should be exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Rich. Thank you for coming
Thank
on.
you. Appreciate you, friend.
Yes, yes. Actually, give me a hug. Yes.
Yes.
All right. This is awesome.
Cool.